So our topic today is virtualization, private clouds, and VMware vSphere. What we're going to do is take a look at cloud computing in general. We'll talk about storage clouds, server clouds, network clouds. We'll talk about why virtualization is a key player in cloud computing and some of the key aspects of virtualization, such as VMware's ability to safely overcommit physical resources. That is, declare more virtual resources than we can actually deliver with physical hardware. We'll talk about dynamic load balancing as a way to distribute workloads evenly across our server cloud. We'll talk about rapid failure recovery so that even if you do have outages, your services can come back into service in minutes. We'll talk very briefly about backup and recovery, disaster recovery, and some security concerns that are specific to virtualization. Cloud computing. First of all, there doesn't appear to be one single agreed-to definition of cloud computing. So what I'm going to do is talk to the most commonly agreed-to attributes of cloud computing. The key difference between cloud computing and traditional provisioning of IT resources is cloud is all about provisioning what's needed, when needed, and as much as needed. And a key component of that is the ability to overcommit physical resources. Of course, we want to have redundancy to improve performance and availability as well. Now, there are three aspects to cloud computing, and it essentially started in the storage space with the introduction of storage appliances. So before storage appliances, we used to provision physical LUNs or physical storage volumes on individual servers. Each server had its own storage volume or volumes, and we would over-provision those storage volumes. We couldn't centrally manage them. We would waste resources by provisioning resources to individual servers that couldn't be used by other servers and so on. With a SAN, what we get is central provisioning and management of storage. Also with SANs and with VMware ESX, what we get now is the ability to thin provision storage. Thin provision storage is storage that is declared to be full size but only allocated to current needs. So for example, I could create a virtual machine. I could thin provision a 50 gig disk, but if I only load programs and data to the tune of 5 gigs, the virtual disk, which continues to report as 50 gigs of size, only consumes 5 gigs of physical space. If I do this across multiple virtual machines, then what I end up with is a situation where the declared size of my virtual disks is actually bigger than the volume that the virtual disks live on. But that's not really a problem because my virtual machines don't use or consume all of their virtual disk all at once. Now, from a PC server point of view, traditionally deployed PC servers have exclusive use of 100% of their resources, and they dedicate those resources to a single workload. If instead of deploying traditionally, we deploy our PC servers to run ESX, then what happens is ESX owns all the resources, and ESX dynamically allocates resources to virtual machines, specifically CPU and memory. The neat thing about doing things virtually is we can load multiple VMs onto our ESX box. Our ESX box will ensure our VMs get the resources they need as they run. So in other words, VMs that spike get more resources, VMs that idle get fewer resources, that sort of thing. And if we notice that there is persistent demand in resource growth over time, or said slightly differently, if our demand for resources grows over time, we can simply provision more ESX hosts as the individual load on my ESX host gets beyond some comfortable level. So I add capacity only on real demonstrated need, which is very different from the legacy days where I simply bought a new PC server for every application I needed to deploy. And as far as networking goes, VMware introduced something called vNetwork distributed switches. And vNetwork distributed switches are software switches that span multiple ESX hosts. With vNetwork distributed switches, you can create a consistent configuration, that is a consistent network configuration that spans those ESX hosts, present each ESX host with what looks like a common layer 2 enterprise switch. That common switch will track VM resource usage metrics over time. It will maintain a single common MAC table, and it will also let you build isolated virtual LANs. So you can actually have VLANs that exist completely within the virtual space on the same vSwitch that uplinks you to physical LAN segments. So let's have a look.